Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie, and on today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching how to draft a cup corset, waist snatching effect, and also removing your back yoke capping. Okay, if you want to see how this is started, watch to the end. Without wasting much of your time guys, let's get started. So guys, starting first, my basic bodice pattern. I'm using a brace bodice pattern, and then you can actually achieve same look even if you're using a normal basic bodice pattern as well. Just follow the step and then you're good to go. Okay, so me just ruling out the neckline because this is supposed to have a yoke. Okay, first thing first, or first thing I did, doesn't matter anymore, it is not necessarily the first thing. Okay, the first thing I did was to get my under bust measurement. My actual under bust measurement is 14 inches, but then I used 13.5 because I just wanted the cup to be pushed up a bit. Okay, so I just drew it along this gate 3 points so that I'm going to have a straight line. So I didn't rule that line across because it's just going to be a quarter part of it. That's just the part I'll need. Now on the waistline, we will need to reduce our waistline. So for this pattern, I need to reduce it by 1/3 of an inch. That is how much I need to remove from my waistline. So that is how much I want it to be snatched. Okay, it's actually 32 inches or so. My waist is 32 inches and I want it to be reduced to 28 inches. Okay, so I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides of my waistline, then rule it up to meet the other points where my initial dart stopped. Now on this other side, which is the tummy area, okay, you want to tuck in that tummy in. Okay, I'm just tagging it there, tummy area. Okay, but before I'm going to like reduce or snatch the tummy area, I'll have to get the length of my corset. Okay, for this pattern the length of my corset is 23 inches because it's going to be an in-between. I'm going to be sewing it. Then I'm going to rule 23 inches across both the center front and the center back as well. Okay, once I draw that along to the center back, I'm going to be ruling so I'll be ruling a line to rule it across to get my full corset measurement, right? So once that is done, then we can come back to, okay, I'm tagging it there, corset full length. Okay, so now to snatch the tummy area, okay, I will have to go in by 3/4 of an inch. Now this is just my desired way of taking it in. Okay, I just took it by 3/4. It's not a standard, guys, this is not a standard, but that is how much I want there to be reduced. So I took 3/4 of an inch on both sides, then I did it as so. Then I'm going to shade it out. I just like shading it out so that I'm going to know which part is needed, which part is not needed, and so on and so forth. So after that is done, we're going back to our under bust measurement. Now we're going to be taking in 1 inch on both sides of this part of the under bust, 1 inch this side, 1 inch, just to get this under bust snatching if that's the term. Okay, so once you do that, I'm going to go ahead with my pattern master and just curve that place just to give it a nice cup curve. Okay, like so. And okay, this side now I had to erase there because it was not touching the 1 inch that I kept for that part, so I had to erase it, and I redrew the lines again. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side, like so, just trying to make sure that the curve is perfect and all. Now once that is done, our corset is forming its shape. So now you have to rule this line to meet the waistline, like you see me do, just so that it's going to be balanced and all. Then I'm going to shade that place out, of course. All right, once I was done shading it out, which is necessary, I'm going to try to try to divide this other side. But before I do that, you want to shape in the upper part of your corset. So now, because I don't want the boning to touch or disturb me at my armpit area, so I'm going to be going down from my pattern paper 1 inch or 1.5 inch. It depends on your preference, but it should not be more than 1.5 inch so that it doesn't get too shallow. Then on my up part, at this point you can actually do your cup from your chest point, okay, or if you don't want cleavage to show, you go up by 1 inch or 1.5 inch. As for me, I went up by 1.5 inches on both sides like you see me do. Then I'm going to curve it to meet this point, to meet the underarm point that have pinpoint. At this point, this curve, later on I had to readjust that because I was not so comfortable with the way it was sitting on the pattern. I had to readjust that. You see that at the end of the video. I'm going to show you guys what I did. Okay, I tried adjusting it here, but it didn't really sit so well. I just left it, but later on I adjusted it. Even after adjusting, I was not okay with it at the end of this whole stuff. So I'm going to show you guys later on in the video how I readjust this armhole part. I really take note of my armpit area because I do not want any discomfort of any kind. So now on this other part, you can decide to, you know, start it from your chest line or from your under bust or from your bust line point. But for me, I'm starting it from my bust line because of how I want my neck line to look like. So I'm going to be going in here. I was just trying to trace out what I want the neckline to look like. So I went in by 3/4 of an inch on this part. Then I'm going to use my pattern paper again to just, you know, cover out the neckline I want my corset to have. Now once that was done, it's coming up bit by bit, and so, you know, forging ahead to get our curve on this other part. Now you need a guard line. Now our guard line, or the guard line in making a corset, is this shoulder slant line I'm showing you guys here. This is what is going to guard you in drafting or giving a perfect cup to your cup corset. Okay, it's like a border line, or will I say a guard line, whichever one suits you. So I'm going to go on with my pattern master and then curve that cup out. It's going to give it a smooth line, and this border line, so that it just shows you where your bust is starting from and when it's ending. Okay, where your bust is ending from your body structure and every other thing. So now this is what this other part. Now this other part, I'm going to take my pattern master as well and give it a nice cup. You have to be gentle and calm and just be smooth about this part. Okay, so I went ahead and I gave it a curve like so, and then this boy is looking like so far. I've given it a cup, and then I just outlined that other place for the corset to sit in very well. So you know, you can have different kind of corsets and neckline. Okay, so at this point I was just trying to show you, if you want a deep illusion neckline, you can just still go down to your true bust line or even your under bust line, but that is not a topic for today. Okay, so you know, you can actually use your under cup wire to do this, your cup under bust and curve and every other thing. So that's what I was trying to show you guys here, but I wanted to show you guys with this then before I go with my pattern master, but I think the pattern master came first, and so that's by the way. So now moving further to close in our cup, like we're going to take in 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch on this part. We're not taking on this other part because of the dart on this other side, so we're taking only on this side. And now another thing about this, most people wonder why I'm always taking this in, is because we are trying to lock or to cover the gapping that will give when you make a corset. So when you bend, it does not expose your boobs, and it also does not expose your boob, and also help to tighten there so that your cup is not loosed. Okay, and also give it a good curve when that place is taken in. So now going on, I hope you get that point. Going on with our waist snatching, we still have 3/4 of an inch, but on this side, which is the center front of our pattern, we are going to be taking 1/2 inch just to balance that side and to give that waistline, like, that is necessary. This is compulsory. Okay, it's compulsory because it takes out those bulgy that you see in most people's corset they make. Yeah, there's some corset you see, it has this bulge net at the center part, but if you do this, you erase that from your corset. Okay, then, and try to smoothen that out. While you're doing that, make sure it's not touching your bust area. Okay, you should go, like you just see the way I just curved that, just watch, and just as much as you're listening, also watch. So I wanted to make this corset to have a slanted waistline on this side, so I went in with my pattern master and I drew a line like so. Then I'm going to be taking the remaining part of my waist snatch, what is remaining for me to snatch on each side of this line. Okay, it's remaining 3/4, so I'm going to divide my 3/4. Then whatever what I got, I had to share it on both sides, then make my dart. Okay, once I roll that out, then I'm going to roll it out to meet the down part, the corset length. Then I'm going to shade it, of course. I'll be shading it out, this part and as well as this other part which is not needed. So continuing with shaping my corset pattern, I'm going to be going up by 1.5 inches just to give it that hourglass shape. Okay, so I'm going to be going up by 1.5 inches, then I'm going to be going outward by 1 inches. All right, then I'll be connecting this to my waistline with my pattern master. Guys, you cannot do without your pattern master. Always, this is my favorite tool and a tool that I cannot do without. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to curve out that shape. Now look at that shape. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm going to level up the full length like so with my pattern master, just to give it a complete finishing at the end part of it. Then I'm just going to erase, then of course shade out the part that is not needed. Okay, do the same thing on this other. I did the same thing on this other side as well, shading out the part that is not needed. Okay, you saw that on this other side I actually drew the center front waistline to reach the tummy area. Okay, just level up the whole tummy, tucking and all that. Now moving forward to our back pattern. Our back pattern, we are going to be going up by 1.5 inches like we did in the front pattern, then go outward by 1 inches. Then we're going to shape it out with our pattern master, and just so that both side seam are equal and it balances very well. Okay, so once you've done that, I went ahead to clean those other parts that is not needed. Okay, so now for this waist snatching for our back part, the back channel does not have any tummy tucking, but yet you need to remove every bulginess at the back part of it. Okay, for those that have deep back curve and all that, so we're taking in our waist reduction at the back side. So whatever you have, you're going to take it out from this other line we have ruled out like so, and I've done that, and I'm going to be meeting it up to the same point with my previous back dart. I'm going to roll it down there upward. Okay, you see, I'm not going to do like I did on the front side, taking the dart all the way to the tummy area, because it's not needed. You actually need to shape in the back side so that the butt is going to sit where. So that is why my dart is penciled down to the way it is. You get my point, right? So after that, of course, I'm going to shade out the part that is not needed. Okay, now on this other side, this is what people call waist snatching. This is their 1 inch or 1.5 inch they take at the center back. That is not waist snatch. I hope with this video you've gotten to know what waist snatching is all about. So I'm now going to take out the excess, not the excess actually, I'm going to take out the opening that is going to be behind. I'm taking 1 inch for that. Then that 1 inch is going to be where my eyelet is supposed to sit properly, right? Is that the right thing? Okay, now for this other side, just to make sure that the both back seam and the front seam are equal, whatever you took on this armhole depth, you're going to use the same thing on the back side as well. I use 1 inches. If you're using 1.5, please make sure yours is 1.5 as well. That you're going to give your back line however you want your back to look like, how dramatic you want it to look like. For me, I just want it to be this way. And so if you're making your yoke, so I was trying to explain with my hands there, please take out this dart that is being cut off from this place. You get that dart that is there from the yoke pattern, take it out. So this place, I was going to take the back gapping, those gapping that will sit whenever you have your yoke, like it's going to, if you're tying your yoke, you see the excess that shows from the yoke pattern. I actually took ½ inch there, but I did that before I shaping my yoke. So I'm going to show you guys now how to reduce those gapping you get from your yoke after making your corset. Now you're going to go up from this your pattern by ½ inch. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, Once you do that, then you're going to curve it out to meet the initial back line. Do you get? Now this ½ inch you're taking out, I'm shading out now, is those excess you get from your yoke. If you notice, if you've done corset before, you always see this excess that is coming out from the net, the mesh you use for your yoke part. So this is going to eliminate that. Okay, so now I'm shading out the unnecessary parts, of course. Okay, I hope you got to that point. This part of the video is not showing that back gapping that I reduced or that I removed, but just get the whole point. So like I said, I've already done that before. When I was actually done with this video, that is when I noticed it. Okay, so I made channels for my eyelets, and this is what my pattern is looking like. So I just wanted my cup to be a 3-sided cup. Okay, so I went in to style it again by making a 3rd channel for the cup. Okay, now for me to do that, I had to make sure that this other place matches this other place. So when I join this up part, the 3rd part of the cup is going to be equal. I don't have to cut and join like so. Then I took it over to this other side. Then I completed the whole cup. Okay, now this is what my cup is looking like, smooth and neat. Okay, so guys, this is what it is so far. I'll clean up every excess and everything necessary. You have to check if there's any place you need to correct and any place you need to checkmate. Please do so at this point. But so far, if you understand, please mention it on the comment section. Okay, so also, you know, on the yoke part for the center front, make sure you take out this part that you took out from the cup. On the yoke part, rule it out to meet this other initial shoulder dart. Okay, make sure you rule it out so there will not be excess on the front yoke. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. All right, please, if you've stayed up to this point and you're not a subscriber, you are wrong. And if you do not like this video, you are also wrong. And if you are not sharing this video with someone that needs this, you're also wrong. So at this point, I went back to complete the damp part of my center back, the length of the corset. So this is what it's looking like, smooth, cleaned out, and every other thing. So this is the part I was trying to tell you guys, that I was not really okay with how that cup sits on my armpit area. So I went off camera, to redo that part, and I'm very sorry I didn't show you guys. But just the same way I placed my pattern master, that is the same way I got it. It's just that I reduced, or I brought down my pattern master a little bit down, so that is why it gave me this. Okay, I hope this is understanding. I hope you guys are getting everything. Please practice make perfect. You must not get it at the first time. Practice make perfect. But I know you've learned something, and if you want me to make any correction, or if you think there's anything I missed out from this pattern, please mention it in the comment section. You know I always listen, or I always pay attention. I always reply my comments. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys for everyone that have been part of this growing family. Please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Like, share. Alright, so this is it, and remain super blessed until my next video. Bye for now. Bye.